Yeah, and they are aware of that as well. Well, I've just been joined by Murray Mexted, who's made it finally through the crowd up to the broadcasting position. And Murray, looking out over this stadium, what a sight it is.
Spectacular, absolutely spectacular. And I continue to laugh every time I come to France and watch a game of rugby, because they do have a colour about them, there's no doubt about that. I mean, we had the Latin thing in Italy, but they haven't got that rugby heritage that the French have, and there is incredible sights to be seen in the stadium.
So here they come. The most important test match of this Northern Tour. And the All Blacks about to emerge. And they love their rugby here in France. And I can tell you they are getting to their feet. That is everybody. As the All Blacks are about to come onto the park. It's an All Black forward pack with a hard edge to it, no doubt mindful the French will be passionate and potentially excitable in the opening 20 minutes. The talking points, Tony Woodcock at loose head prop, Anton Oliver back for another major test at hooker, Rodney Soialo taking over at number 8. Now to the backs, and the back three that have found some good form against Wales last week have been retained. Conrad Smith winning a healthy battle to wear the number 13 jersey outside Tana Umanga. Dan Carter has shown on this tour that he's starting a long career as an international first five. So the All Blacks are out. The French have just run onto the field. Well, the French have a big physical forward pack with plenty of experience. There are nearly 100 caps in the front row, and behind them, Fabien Pelouse himself is only 4 games off the magical 100 test caps. The real strength is in the loose, though, where Aaron Adoke, Amanya and Betson have shown themselves time after time to be world class. And the big talking point in the back line is Frederic Michalak playing at halfback in the absence of Ali Saad. This means a 6th test cap for Julian Pierlong at first five. Now we're standing by for the anthems, Andrea Crichton to sing the New Zealand national anthem. Boy, it's rousing and it's emotional as the All Blacks now go across to do the haka.
Well, there's a touch of class with the French, everything they do. The anthem sums it up, doesn't it? We've had the flair and the style of Italy, but she's all class in this country.
The haka is always treated with the greatest of respect in France.
Well, I've never seen Tana Umaga lead the haka. That was emphatic.
The crowd, it was amazing. They booed a little bit as the All Blacks went out before they did the haka, and then they watched it in silence. It was fantastic.
Alain Roland from Ireland, the man with the French name, is the referee for this evening's match. Andy Turner of South Africa and Simon McDowell of Ireland are running the touches. And it's almost time on here at Stade de France in Paris. The 41st meeting between these two great rugby nations. And the kickoff is made. Chris Jack reaches up. All Blacks can't get it cleanly, but they've got it now. And Byron Kelleher lining up Tana Umaga to get it wide for Dan Carter. So first receiver Umaga, and Carter kicking into the wide open spaces. Poitrenaud gets a nasty bounce. The All Blacks closing him down, and a charge down. Opportunity here. Richie McCaw couldn't quite get his hands on the ball, and the French have it inside their own 22. And Michalak waiting for it. Gets it away, and Pierre Long makes the clearing kick. Not in touch though. Here's Carter again. First kick was a telling blow. Now Michalak waits as Carter waits for him again. He drops it. So some early nerves from the French. That's what the All Blacks will be looking for. The French don't start well. It can often mean a poor performance. So it's turned over. Kelleher. Off it goes to Anton Oliver. All Blacks in a good attacking position. Right in centre field. Kelleher drags it out for Collins. Sells the dummy Jerry Collins. And takes it into the contact area. Pushed through by Kelleher. And finally brought under control. And a raking kick downfield has Nils Muliaina going backward. There's not a Frenchman within 30 metres of him. So Muliaina with all the time in the world. His kick's not out, so a long opening sequence as Cedric Amons takes it. He kicks then chases. Carter lines it up. And it was a late charge.
Wow. An incredible sequence of play. It started off several opportunities to New Zealand right from the start. They battled to take the kick off, got it under control. Carter's kick, I don't think, was meant to skewer infield. Then the French mucked it up. New Zealand had a chance to score. They never took it. Then it went back down New Zealand's end. They never found touch the French, and they meant to, I think. New Zealand came back with the bottom line as the first sequence ended up inside New Zealand territory with a kick to France. So it's a fickle game, rugby.
Frederic Michalak, who was named at first five for this game, but with Ali Saad having pulled out at halfback, Michalak now the halfback, and here's the first kick for him. France lead.
Well, a lot of people, of course, say that Michalak is better, particularly in France, say he's better at halfback than he is at first five. It's pretty cool and calm the way he kicked that. They say in close quarter play, he's very decisive, which is ideal for halfback.
So the All Blacks giving away an unnecessary penalty, and it's cost them as it's the kickoff taken by Servat, the hooker, taken down by Collins. Now Michalak back to Pierlon. Another big punt, and this one is in touch. So we go to the first set piece of the game, first line out.
Well, they certainly started, both teams, gave us plenty of rugby. By no means perfect, that opening sequence.
The All Blacks will try and put some pressure on the French fullback Poitrenaud. Anyone who saw the Heineken Cup final earlier on this year knows he's capable of making some real clangers at the back.
Good first throw to Chris Jack. Now it's with Collins in midfield. Good strong charge. Cleared away to So'oi out low. It's Umanga. Almost to the 10-metre line. Ball pops back again on the All Black side. Now Carter looking for an inside gap, but he's well contained. The All Blacks have it though. Referee's got the arm out. Not sure whether it's a knock on by the French or it's a penalty coming the All Blacks way. Yes, it is.
There was a sneaky hand in there from one of the French forwards.
So here's a chance for Dan Carter. It's almost on the halfway line, but it's dead out in front.
Tell you what, Byron Gallagher's not used to being knocked around like that. He's a little powerful pocket of energy when he picks up the ball. He got unceremoniously jumped. That wasn't the phase.
So Daniel Carter, already with 207 test points in the bank. In his 17th test, Don Clark, the great DB Clark, the late great DB Clark, scored 207 test points. Took him 31 tests. But to be fair, of course, a lot more points are scored these days. So Dan Carter's made a very good start. Let's see if he can continue it here with this opening kick of the test. It'll have the distance, and it's accurate.
Well, he's a great kicker for a young man, Daniel Carter. I was just thinking, as you were talking about the stats, how consistent this man is. And it was under enormous pressure. You know, when you start a test match like this, you get your first kick and it is from 48 metres. To be able to kick it as effortlessly as that, it's a wonderful sign of the future.
This kick-off nicely taken down by Chris Jack. He didn't get a hold of the first one. And the All Blacks get an opportunity to engage the French. It's held in the back here by Norm Maxwell. And they're getting some good ground here. Up towards the 10-metre line now. The kick made by Kelleher. It's heading towards the touchline and it's off the side of the boot. And so that is disappointing after all the hard work done by the forwards.
It is, but there was a bit of psychological value in that drive, actually. Hello, the shorts are down.
I don't know what sort of psychological value there is in that.
Yeah, only the French cameras would pick that up.
So that throws, and it's through the hands of the intended jumper, Tion. And that's a knock-on, surely, at the base. No, he said it went back. Alain Roland and France get an opportunity. Haven't really had a lot of balls so far in this game. Now it goes away to Pielon. Paymons and quick hands, but in their endeavours to get it wide, they've thrown it across the touchline, across the face of Rougerie.
He looked a bit windy there, I thought, Nisbo. He had a half an eye on who was coming up on him.
Yeah, but they had space. They had created space. They did it well. The pass was not on, though, was it?
You just notice, guys, that the All Blacks are wearing the poppy on the sleeve, honouring the sacrifice made by so many New Zealanders during both world wars in this part of the world. Did it when we were here a few years ago, 2000, for the first time when the Test match was played on Armistice Day. That was a memorable night, won by the All Blacks. That was the first time they played for the Dave Gallagher Trophy.
So, first scrum, New Zealand ball. Ooh, down she goes. Well, this is still in France. This is their favourite area. You just need to sit in the bar and have a beer with anybody, and the first thing they talk about is the powerful French scrum. Well,
the front row all from Stade de France, so they're used to each other. De Villiers, Servat and Marconnet.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Well, there's a classic case of a referee having a bit of a guess. Most of them don't know what happens in the front row, and Alain Roland has decided that the All Blacks have gone down.
Yeah, well, I guess he made that call because Heyman's knee hit the deck and the French prop opposite him, Marconnet, had both legs. Well, he was on his feet, basically. But whether that's right or not, who would know?
Much better throw this time, taken down by Tion. Crowd are very expressive. If they see something they don't like, they'll mention it. France not making too much progress here. The All Blacks holding them up pretty well. Michalak waiting. Now he gets it off to Pielon. Wide it goes to Marsh. Well taken by Umanga. Good solid defence by the All Black captain. Yeah. Now the scrap on for the loose ball, and the All Blacks had more players to it without any doubt at all. The captain gets a pat on the back.
French trying to do everything from depth, aren't they, in their back plate?
Well, I think they had a good ball though, Tony, there. You know, they put on a bit of a drive. As Nisbo said, they weren't making that much yardage, but what it did do, it created space, and certainly it was like getting go-forward ball.
But if you play from depth, you know, you get caught behind the advantage line, you're in trouble, aren't you?
Did you see the way the French rallied around them, though? Marsh at the deck. Have a look at this. 2 or 3 players straight away. Then we've got 2. 1. And then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 arrived.
That's okay.
Anton Oliver's throw just a little bit short of the mark, and in fact it was Olivier Magna who jumps in front of the All Blacks, and that's the first line-out turnover. Kick made again by Julien Pierlon. It's in touch, quickly thrown in by Howlett, and now it's with Byron Kelleher. 5 metres on the All Black side of halfway. Oliver's going to play at halfback and have a charge.
3 away, 3 away.
Man on the wrong side getting dealt to big time, and oh, they don't like it.
Oh, he should have been penalised for not rolling away.
Absolutely, and the ball was right there and it came out as he came out.
And you're allowed to ruck if your feet are going back towards your own goal line.
Okay? Initial penalty would have gone to you. If you ruck on the ball, not on the player. I'm reversing the penalty against this man. Okay? You ruck on the ball, I'm reversing the penalty here.
So it was all right when he was the ball was there and he was over it?
Correct. But then it was on the body, not anywhere near the ball. Okay?
But he's lying. What Carter wanted to say was, if you're lying on the ball, how do you ruck the ball and not the man? That's an absurd penalty.
Well, I think Mr. Marconnet, that'll be the last time he'll sit on the wrong side of the ruck.
Wait.
It really has become a grey area, and it should never have become a grey area.
No, well, I mean, you're just taking away a fantastic part of the game if you start penalising situations like that. Absolutely crazy.
So here's Michalak again, a bit further this time, about 45 metres. Looks pretty good though.
Cleared that with plenty to spare, didn't he?
Yes, he's such a casual individual. So a second penalty goal by Frederic Michalak, and it's 6 points to 3. Carter. Well, this might struggle to go the 10 metres. One of the Frenchmen will have to play it, yes. So the All Blacks allowed Brian Liebenberg to take it. Pass goes out to Marconnet. Crowd howling because they feel that Jerry Collins is offside, but in fact he came from behind those feet. Now the kick put him behind, beautifully read by Doug Howlett. Then he ducks under the tackle and sets it up nicely. Good cover defence by the right winger. Kelleher off to Muliaina. Puts the kick in for Carter to chase. Well taken by Poitrenaud for France. He's the fullback. Michalak. Another kick from Pierlon. Difficult one for Anton Oliver. He did very well just to deflect it into the path of Muliaina. Now Joe Rucker. Thoko puts the foot down and gets away. Now So'oialo. He's got some support from Howlett. Howlett running out on the left wing side. He's the right winger. Kick and chase. But the goal areas are very, very small. But there is an example of the potential the All Blacks have to counterpunch.
Oh, it was a great counter-attack too. Everybody did the right thing. But Rocco Thoko had the speed to get through the hole. He fed the pass. So'oialo runs like a back. I thought he should have given it to Howlett a little bit earlier. Give him a fair go. But Howlett trying to get it on the inside again.
Big rugby ground, but the in-goal areas are pretty small really. As the kick goes down inside the All Black 22. Rocco Thoko's got Carter with him. He'll get Dan Carter to do the kicking. And not well hit at all. In fact, it's going to work out though because Aurélien Rougerie has made a hash of it. All Blacks throw it quickly.
It's going to work out well because it wouldn't have been New Zealand ball at all if it had gone out.
Playing the game at pace, the All Blacks. Kelleher clears it off to Collins. Collins taking on the defence in French territory. Again, Byron Kelleher for Umaga. He got his pass off to Rocco Thoko. Now it's Conrad Smith. First touch of the ball. He got the pass off nicely. The All Blacks up to the 10-metre line. And it's a penalty. And it was called a little earlier. In fact, he was playing a little bit of advantage. And it was offside against France. So Norm Maxwell carried the ball forward, but the referee Roland blowing some early whistle.
Well, coincidence maybe. 2 penalties apiece, both in kicking distance.
If that was a penalty at the breakdown, it was one of those 6 of one, half dozen of the others. Could easily have gone the other way for Norm Maxwell not releasing, couldn't it?
I think he blew it up a little earlier than that.
Could be, yeah.
So the goal kicking so far at 100% for both teams. Another outstanding kick from Dan Carter, and it's 6-all.
Well, 2 penalties apiece, it's back to square one again.
Pierlong, the man for Biarritz, gets us going again. Down for Carter. And some of his punts haven't been that good so far tonight, but that's one of the better ones. A raking punt downfield. And in touch, 15 metres on the French side of halfway.
Yes, if you don't hit the sweet spot with these balls, the ball doesn't fly as well. I was watching the French line out warming up. They just work so well together. It's great to see.
Well, some difficulty here, and it's fallen for McCaw. All Blacks have a chance if they can clear it quickly. Kelleher, but they've knocked it on. Just a loss of concentration there in the haste to get rid of it. Here come the French looking to open it up. Amons, and the kick made by Liebenberg, and he doesn't look like much of a kicker. So the referee is going to bring them back for the knock-on by Byron Kelleher.
I'd rather think that Hamons had wished the whistle had gone for the knock-on earlier, because he got absolutely clattered by Jerry Collins as he got the ball away.
Yes, that ball was just almost too quick.
He wasn't expecting it, was he, Murray?
No, he wasn't indeed. In fact, I think it was handed to him. Was it by Heyman?
Heyman, yes.
Engage.
So a foot in for Michalak. Big All Black scrum. What a beauty. This should
very
be
good scrum.
This should go the All Black way. Let's have a look and see what he rules. He might say the front rows came up, which will mean France will get it back. Yeah. But there's a little lesson for them.
Actually, that's a great message.
All Blacks have a slight superiority in weight.
How often do we see a French scrum go backwards like that? Not too often.
Aaron Hudley takes it off the back for France. Very slow ball. Very slow ball. Now it's finally back to Pierlong. And this is infield. So Muliaina, he'll stretch it wide if he can. He does to Rokathoko. Can't get through the gap. Closed very quickly. Liebenberg and Manya. Kelleher now clears it up for Mills Muliaina. And the All Blacks on the 10-metre line of French territory, enjoying plenty of time with the ball in hand in this first 15 minutes or so as McCaw gets it away. Collins gets through a couple. Now he pops it up beautifully for Kelleher. The All Blacks are lined wide as Oliver slings it across to Rokathoko. Can't quite give it off to Soyolo. Now he has it to Doug Howlett. Running out of space. Back on the inside to Smith. Ball pops clear though, and Amons has got it. Back for Poitrano. And his kick is downfield. And this time they are chasing hard as Muliaina has it. Steps away. Lovely work by Mills Muliaina. Support from Conrad Smith. 5 metres on the All Black side of halfway. Taken out by Kelleher. Now Carter. Umaga just lacking a little support to his left. Couldn't get the pass away. Lost it.
Yes, he did lose it just in tackle because he was trying to upload it. Well, it's fast and furious. What a great game of football it's turning out to be now. The referee had a bit of an impact in the first 10-15 minutes, I thought. But he's let the game go nicely in the last 5. And New Zealand controlling the ball for a long period of time. Looking likely to break with the French just hanging on. But really, we have got a game on our hands here.
Problems here for Tony Marsh. The man who was born in Rotorua 32 years ago.
Yeah, he's got a cut above the eye in his boat.
Yeah, a bit nasty too by the looks of things. So I would imagine Josion will come on, Tony.
Yeah, Yannick Josion, who of course has been a fairly regular member of the starting 15 in recent times. He's a very tall man, the man from Stade Toulouse. He's on in 21.
Well, he's a great footballer, actually. I was surprised when he wasn't named in this lineup right from the start.
Time on, Carlo.
He wasn't originally named against Australia, and then he was a late replacement.
Come up, please. Blacks come up. Blues come up. Curtain hold. I want to pause. Pause. Engage.
So play set to resume. 19 minutes gone first half. 6-all at the Stade de France as Kelleher goes in and hits Josion pretty hard. He knows he's in the game now.
He tackled 2 then, Kelleher. Drifted off one onto the other.
Now Michalak clears it off to Pierlong. Liebenberg drops it onto his boot, but he's kicked it too hard. And even though the crowd are clapping, it really wasn't a great result for the French.
No, it wasn't. In fact, they haven't had much ball at all, really, so far. Well, he probably did the right thing. There was a hole there. His player outside him was marked. But the ball's really been dominated so far by New Zealand. So we haven't seen the French really attack yet.
Anton Oliver playing in his 7th test match against France. Noel Maxwell comes forward and grabs it nicely. Kelleher slings it wide to Umaga. And the All Blacks set it just up from their own 22. Now Kelleher, and that's beautifully worked. And Carter's kickers again found a lot of space. And there have been occasions when Poitrano hasn't been in position.
Well, those are the sorts of mistakes he can make. We saw he made an absolute clanger in the Heineken Cup final. And those are the sorts of he can be a brilliant player when things are going right for him, but he can also make some colossal errors.
Mental toughness. But that's the bit though, the ball's sat on its end and it allowed Rocket Fago to get very close. I was surprised Rocket Fago didn't actually attack the ball there.
And hold. Engage.
So good attacking position, New Zealand. How's the scrum holding up? Yes, all right.
Soialo makes ground off the back.
Did well.
Now places it beautifully for Kelleher. Carter turns it back to Smith. He gets hammered right near the 22. Kelleher again goes short to Collins. Taking the ball up strongly. Kelleher probes again. Now it's with Carter. Trying to hand it off to Oliver. Now the All Blacks have it again. Could be Chris Jack. It is. Lays it back again. Kelleher trying to exploit the blind side as often as possible. But the French defence has been well organised.
Yes, he was offside. He thought the ball was coming out. I did too. It was Manier, I think.
Sank him.
Maybe I was wrong there. Maybe it was.
It was Olivia Mania, yes.
It was.
It's Tony Marsh just about to come on.
Well, it was great play, New Zealand. The timing of the moves, beautiful. Everything looking fine. Conrad Smith hit the ball up. I guess that's not really his game, but the timing was so good it had its impact. And they got the ball again going forward. 4 or 5 phases all going forward.
All good quick ball too, wasn't it, Murray? The other thing that I've had a couple of problems at line-out time, but the scrum's been very good. And if you remember a couple of years ago when the All Blacks came here with admittedly of a low-strength team, they really got a hard time on the scrums. So it's encouraging to see them very solid on their own ball, starting to put some real pressure on the French on their feet.
Well, it's a great thing, Tony. I agree. It's a good talking point, this, because Europe is full of this sort of talk at the moment. They're suggesting that Northern Hemisphere scrummaging is better than Southern Hemisphere, which I dispute, of course, and so the All Black team today at the moment.
So here's Dan Carter with an opportunity to put the All Blacks in front for the first time. And he's on target again. Another beautiful kick. So a third penalty goal by Dan Carter. And we're just over halfway through the first spell. The All Blacks lead by 9-6.
Tony Marsh back on. Chozion goes to the sideline. The crowd are loving this. There's a warm appreciation of everything that both teams are doing.
Short kick. All Blacks were ready for it though. Nicely taken by McCaw. Struggled out of 3 or 4 tackles and really gets the All Blacks going forward. Got to his feet again. Now places it. Oh, he's a quality act. Here's Kelleher. Happy to take them on physically, Byron Kelleher. Umaga has to go in towards halfback. But in the end, it's Tony Woodcock. Good run by the North Harbour man. He places it. Inside pass. No, it doesn't go from Smith. But he got it off in the end to Umaga. Some nice interpassing here as it's Muliaina who's come all the way up from fullback. Now Carter, just quick hands. Jack, and they ran out of room in the finish.
Yeah, I think Chris Jack had to drop his shoulder then. Use his weight and power, beat it to the touchline. But it was good play, good control ball once again.
All Blacks not contesting on that occasion. As Liebenberg, he's a big man, the second 5. Misha Lack, he gets hit hard as Kearlong. All Black defence outstanding once again. France endeavouring to get it wide, but the tackles are not being missed as Marconnet takes it in. Now Misha Lack, Liebenberg uncertain. He who hesitates.
Yes, exactly. But he kept the ball, they got it.
Misha Lack. Kearlong gets it wide. Now this is Amons. Rousserie running strongly onto it. Just on the All Black side of halfway. Here they come again. Mania. Awkward pass. And it's been knocked on. Carter's tidied up. Got it off to Smith. All Blacks looking for quick ball here to exploit the French. They're breaking up the middle. Kelleher. Away to McCaw. Puts the foot down. Has Doug Howlett with him. Now it's So'oialo. He can't clear it. And offside. Surely the Frenchman round the wrong place. Oh boy. Play on, says the referee, and he's got the All Blacks for a knock on. But he could easily have penalised the French there.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Well, they're getting the rub of the green, the French are, as far as the decisions are concerned. It was a great sequence of play by France, actually, leading into that, though.
Chris Jack has got a cut under the eye, heading for the sideline. But was it, Murray? I mean, they're doing everything from such depth. While the crowd are roaring because they think players are making breaks, they're really very rarely getting back to the advantage line.
Although they did it 5 times. They had 5 phases changed. It's the first time in the game that they've done that, so they've all had a bit of a feel, I guess.
Yeah, by the way, I was right down on the sideline, very close. I think the French are very lucky not to have been penalised then, right out in front of their own posts.
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious as hell, wasn't it?
Ali Williams waiting to come on, but they're trying to mop up the damage under that left eye of Chris Jack.
Chris Jack won't want to leave the field. I just happened to see him as they ran out onto the field, guys, and as he came out, he looked up into this magnificent stadium. A big smile broke out on his face. He went over and had a bit of a shake of the hands and a slap on the back with his mate Norm Maxwell. He's just thrilled to be here. They really are revelling in this atmosphere, the All Blacks. There's going to be a change made for the French as we're speaking. Change at loose head prop.
It looks like Malou is coming on, and so Marconnet, he doesn't look
time on.
in great nick.
These sorts of things at France, when a proper links appeal. He's
got a shoulder injury.
French automatically think, oh well,
No.
we got beaten up front.
Engage.
Whether or not that's correct is
Well,
irrelevant.
broken up the Stade Français front row.
Very psychological sport in France, rugby. Little things turn the balance of power. It's the ebb and flow of psychological energy.
Gallagher looks to get in there and destroy it. Aeronautic makes a couple of metres. Now the French under a deal of pressure, kick charged, but the All Blacks couldn't quite bring it down. And it'll be French ball, but they're a little bit rattled at the moment, Les Bleus.
Les Bleus, you've got a bit of French going there after a week in France.
Yeah, been here long enough.
4 up, please. 4 up, please.
Savat.
Stay. Restez là.
Clean take by Aeronautic. All Blacks not allowing them to make too much ground, although now they get something going. Up to the 22 go the French forwards. This might give Pierlon a little more time. No, he's not going to kick. That's a clever kick. Amons has time to wait. Chased across and taken by his opposite number, Doug Howlett. Now Betson gets the pass off Liebenberg. They're getting it wide to Marsh. Rougerie, well contained by Joe Rokethoko. And they haven't really made a lot of ground. They've gone straight across field. Now they've got numbers again with Serge Betson. Manya. Good tackle on him by Doug Howlett, but they've still got it. No, it's been knocked on.
What a tackle, and he has hurt him. He is down, and you don't see this very often. Olivier Manya.
It was a great tackle, wasn't it, because he drove into him. Shoulder and leg, same shoulder, same leg.
Not out of the textbook. They normally say that you put your head behind, but any way will do, and down he went in a heap.
It's just as well the touch judge saw that, because the referee certainly didn't spot what was another pretty clear knock on. But he's slowly getting back to his feet, Manya. Well, knees anyway.
Well, they were stretched. New Zealand on both flanks that time. All started from a little wee kick, a small kick by Michalak. They spread it wide, both sides, and both sides New Zealand were thin.
Good advantage in territory for the All Blacks. Pretty close in the possession stakes. 28 minutes gone, first half. 12 minutes to go until the break. No tries as yet. 9 points to 6, the All Blacks lead. Keller having a bit of a scrap with his opposite number. So Ayalo makes, again, there's nobody home at fullback. Boy, the fullback is all over the place. Here's a chance. Oh, just didn't bounce for Doug Howlett. But look at the black jerseys here. France well outnumbered. Now it's with Carl Heyman. Lost it though. And the referee, now he wants to call someone out and have a yarn here. What's this about? Let's have a listen.
Pas jouer le ballon quand il est par terre. Je veux pas voir quelque chose comme ça deuxième fois. Hey? Pas encore.
So what he said was, if you're lying on the ground, you can't play the ball.
Yes.
Well, he's got a French name, this fellow. His father was born in France, Alain Roland, but he's Irish.
Murray, I got 84 for school cert French, and I didn't understand that. Well done.
I got 0 for school cert French, mate. I didn't do it in France. I didn't do it at school, but I played a few seasons of footy here.
What, you know what it's like to be penalised for killing the ball on the ground, do you? You recognise the expression?
When you kill a ball on the ground in France, you get a kick in the head.
Not anymore, you don't, apparently.
Right, so Dan Carter. Been a bit of a kicking contest so far. Oh, lovely kick again. He's ice cool. There's Dan Carter. 4 penalty goals, and it's 12 points to 6. Pierlong with the kickoff. Calling for it is, well, taken down by Jack. He was one of the players that called for it. Jerry Collins smashing into the French defence. Gallagher back for Carter. They're going to spin this one wide. Out as quickly as they can go, but it's been lost forward. And the referee's going to have to rule a knock on.
I'll tell you what, that was a great tackle that on Muliaina, ball and all, because had he not done that spot tackle, Rocco Thaker would have been clear on the outside. Even so, confident stuff inside the 22. New Zealand string the ball right in front of their posts. 10 metres out.
Kick-off made down to Poitrino, who this time is in position. Mania takes it in. Pops back for Michalak. Now the big lock forward, Jerome Thion. All Blacks have turned it over, I think. Or have they? Well, it's a knock-on by the French anyway. They really are contesting the ball at the breakdown.
They are. They've got more numbers actually right on the ball.
Looks like there's more blood. Boy, they're spilling the blood out there tonight.
Yes, this looks like Thion, the big lock, who's gone down. We talked before the game, Murray, about the physicality of the French, but the All Blacks really are taking it to them. Now, I know some people will probably be cursing the All Blacks for trying to move the ball inside their own 22, but you also do get the feeling that they have the measure of the French out wide.
Well, I think we've given our backs more opportunity out wide, Tony, haven't we, in this first half. It's been a very confident stuff, and they look self-assured for sure, which is a great sign. I mean, there are occasions maybe when it's more judicious to place the ball downfield, but if you've got the ball in hand, the opposition haven't. But yes, the physicality will go back to that. It is always going to be a physical encounter when you play France, in France.
French might have to make another replacement here. We've got Pascal Pape from Bourgoin warming up on the sideline, not required at the moment.
Sotialo detaching, trying to get away from Mania, can't do it. Now they lay it back for Kelleher.
Well tackled, great defence, France.
Yes, the French have defended well, just as the All Blacks have.
I'm not sure where the ball is there.
Been turned over. Chance here for Rougerie. Chased and taken by Umaga. Marsh picks it up. But the All Blacks have held them up sufficiently to restore the back line as it's slung wide.
They've got lots of numbers here too, France.
Another big tackle by Collins on Thion. And that stopped that stone dead. Michalak. Now Palouse, the veteran player, captain of the team.
Turn over New Zealand, is it?
Might have turned him as well. No, it's come back, but it's a very untidy. Mania has it. And France in possession. 5 out from their own 22, but the All Blacks reckon they've got it. They have. Here's Muliaina. Pops it up to Rocco Thaker, spinning his way down towards halfway. Now he's got it up to Maxwell. Lovely pass to Smith. Now Smith looks through support. He's got it too from Jack. Now Sotialo drops it away, and it's still okay. All Blacks lost it backwards a couple of times.
Numbers here.
Here they go. Oliver slings it wide. Collins. Howlett still in the field of play, and it's been kicked dead. It's a 5-metre scrum.
Well, how France got out of that, I'll never know. Just a bit laboured here. Maybe this pass didn't need to miss. The pass on to Carter. Carter could have drawn the last man. But even so, it's a lot easier to say it sitting behind the microphone than it is when you get the ball in your hand in that situation.
Boy, what an opportunity here. 8 minutes remaining in the first half.
Well, Howlett was checked too when he put that little kick through. But this is a pressure moment. Be very interesting to see what happens in this scrum. By rights, the French scrum should be not as solid as before. Doesn't always work that way, but let's see what happens. So it's a great attacking situation, New Zealand, at a very crucial moment.
Good scrum from the All Blacks. They're just going to hold it for another second or two. Now Kelleher. Off it goes to Carter. French flying up in defence. Umaga misses out Smith. Now they get it right to Muliaina. He's well contained. Rocco Thaker snaps it up.
And gets barreled.
Huge defence again by the French. Kelleher has a go on his own. Byron Kelleher needs some support. A little bit slow to get there. And the ball bounces away forward, I think, from Dan Carter. And Graham Henry and Steve Hansen.
You could almost see him saying that ball should have been moved. But I think that the French backs had drifted then. I think Kelleher saw that and took the hole. But the problem, of course, was there was no one in support.
The French are very well organised on defence, though.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad effort, was it, by New Zealand? That move, coming from depth, getting the ball wide, giving Muliaina a bit of a chance.
2 French players down at the moment, receiving attention.
Seems to be a bit of a pattern developing here. Every time there's a long series or sequence of play, France seem to grab a few extra seconds.
Sounds like a conspiracy there.
Well, I mean, they always get up and they always continue.
I don't want you coming down today. And hold. And on the engage.
So New Zealand.
Boy, if that was in straight, I'll go heat.
New Zealand putting a bit of pressure on.
Good burst by Aeronautica for the French. This impressive number 8. Back it goes to Pierlong. He's under enormous pressure. Muliaina, long run forward to meet it and got it nicely. Now they get it wide. Oh, almost knocked down. Chance now for Howlett. Been knocked on by the French. And they didn't hear the whistle initially.
I'll tell you what. Howlett, Muliaina caught the ball beautifully, opened it up. It looked fantastic, but all the French backs read exactly what he was going to do. And they rushed up looking for that opportunity for an intercept.
Well, the knock-on ruled against the All Blacks in actual fact. Pierlong kicks this one cleverly away from Muliaina, waiting in fact for Howlett to get the bounce. And Muliaina's kick is a good one, as he's upended by Betson. Quickly taken by the French. Under pressure though. Again, more black jerseys there.
Although they came back, the French then
they have
forward,
recovered.
Saved here.
Nobody's quite sure where the ball is.
No, hang on, they might have recovered. I'm not sure about this referee with the French name. Not quickly enough. Everyone could see what was going on there.
Now,
two of them.
Two more French
French forward.
You wouldn't want to know, would you?
The hooker, and you know, Marnia's still not right. Marnia is still not too happy. He's getting to his feet now.
Okay, got blood here on 2 as well.
Jerry Collins has probably been leading the way with the tackling. He's tackling, well, we know he does always, but he's tackling with tremendous force, and he's really knocked a few of them back.
Well, they might need to substitute the hooker, William Servat.
Yeah, Sebastian Bruno is the replacement hooker. So that does not look in good shape.
Well, it's been a physical first 37 minutes. And it was always going to be. I think New Zealand selectors recognised that and named the team they thought best could handle it.
Well, they're making the change. He didn't want to go, but he is going. Sebastian Bruno, the replacement hooker, on for William Servat. So in the first half, the French have had to make 2 changes in their front row.
Now this is the guy who plays his club rugby across the English Channel for Sale. Sebastian Bruno. Pretty solid unit by the looks of things.
French and hold. Engage. Stay on, 7, please, stay on.
So about 3 minutes remaining first half. Pierlong looking to lob it out wide to Rougerie and just overcooked it. The idea was very good.
Yes, indeed. I mean, the ball was, it was actually kicked too high, wasn't it? Look at Rokotoko there. It gives him time to get back. Had that been lower trajectory, then it would have been a great play.
That's the thing about the French, though, isn't it? They're only down by 6 points and they look like they can make a try out of nothing.
Oliver lobs it in straight to Norm Maxwell. Oliver gets it back. Now Kelleher turns it back into Collins, smashing it up the middle again. Kelleher, they're going to work the blind side. Carter lobs the pass into no one in particular, but crunching his way forward was Tony Woodcock. Here goes Jerry Collins again. He's had a storming first half. Oliver making ground too. All Blacks now inside the 22. Kelleher sells the dummy. Still going, Byron Kelleher. Scraps his way up 15 metres short. Now it's with Doug Howlett. Whistle's gone.
Ooh.
Very good first 38 minutes for the All Blacks. They haven't scored a try. They spent a lot of time in the French territory though.
Once again, good play, Kelleher. Now
Liebenberg's going to kick, and he's got it out to the 22.
Gives New Zealand a chance to line out. Well, that's good pressure. That's in effect the turnover. That's Aeronautica getting caught behind the scrum.
You just get the feeling, though, that the All Blacks could do with a score in the last minute of the first half. Might reflect the run of play a bit more in the first half, give them something a little bit more to show for it.
Well, of course, it would be wonderful. Oh, yes.
Here's a gap for Kelleher again. Now he needs some support. He's got it from So'oialo, and the All Blacks get the first try. Rodney So'oialo.
Well, the timing of your call. Well, that stunned a few people here. Tony Johnson asked for it and he got it, but it was great play, wasn't it? The gap open, that's what Kelleher's so good at, just taking those gaps. Have a look, good ball off the top, there's the gap. Kelleher went through. Now watch Soyalo. He's got the speed and the fend of a sevens player. Well, great to have those skills as a number 8. He's a powerful man, explosive, a great try. Worthy selection too, in my opinion, after a fantastic NPC, Soyalo.
What a time to score. Just on half-time, 17 points to 6. Boy, this could be a big half-time lead if Dan Carter can do the honours here. Put it down to Byron Kelleher's break. And the finish for his 3rd test try for Rodney So'oialo. Here's Carter, and he's going to do it too. What a big half-time lead the All Blacks have here in the Stade de France in Paris. 19 points to 6.
Yes, and Daniel Carter just rubbed salt into the wound, which is quite open at this stage. It has been a battle of attrition in the first half, and it's been a battle at the New Zealand forwards. In fact, the New Zealand team have won. It's been a tremendous confrontation of two very, very good sides. There's been some outstanding rugby. There's been a few little mistakes at the beginning, but generally speaking, what a wonderful game of football, and New Zealand holding the power in so many areas in this first half.
40 minutes gone here in Paris. 1 try to 0. That one scored right on half-time by Rodney So'oialo. Dan Carter earlier 4 penalties, plus the conversion to 2 Michalak penalties for France. Half-time sees the All Blacks leading 19 points to 6. In a pretty buoyant mood, but as he pointed out, it's an 80-minute game, 40 to go, and I think these blokes here in the blue will come back very strongly, particularly in the early stages of the second half, Murray.
Well, if they don't, they're dead and gone. They'll have to fire their shots in the first 10 minutes, I'd say. Really get the message out there. Otherwise, it'll be very hard for this French team to retain that same level of discipline and concentration.
There'll be some bloke back home counting his money. $3 on Rodney So'oialo to score the first try of the game. Just trying to think what that might have been paying, probably as a loose forward, around about $15, $17, something like that. So well done. I know the TAB bookies earlier this week couldn't separate the two teams, $1.87 each. Anyway, here we go. Kick-off for the second half is made by Carter, and it's done to perfection too. And the kick return goes to So'oialo. Hands it off immediately to Muliaina. The All Blacks are going to counter-attack early with Rokothoko. Carter takes it in, 5 metres on the French side of halfway. Muliaina off to Oliver. Anton Oliver, well taken.
He was well tackled, wasn't he?
On All Black territory. Kelleher off to Tana Umanga. He's well contained. Places the ball. And so lost forward. Interesting call.
I don't think so. Kelleher came back this way. I don't think Umanga was expecting it.
No changes to either side at half-time.
Not coming down on the hold. Wait, I want to pause. Catch and hold.
Of course, the French had 2 changes in the front row in the first half.
Yes, I don't think they would have been expecting to start the second half with the numbers 3, 16 and 17 in their front row.
I just wonder whether Servat was a blood bin, Tony, because it was only a cut after all. But he's not come back in the second spell.
Good scrum, New Zealand again.
Now Mania gets the pass off nicely. Here come the French running strongly onto this, but that's an awful pass. Threw it forward, surely, ref. Hasn't picked it up, though. Now the ball's been dropped. That's justice, if ever I saw it. As the All Blacks clear it off now to Collins. Gives the pass off to Oliver. Kelleher, Carter with all the time in the world. Again, doesn't hit it all that well. Bouncing it off down to... oh, he's done it again. What a shambles. Boy, Tony,
he's doing a sensational impersonation of Charlie Chaplin out there, this bloke.
What a shocker. Poitrenault.
Well, we mentioned it early on, Nisbo. He reminds you of the likes of, well, you'd remember Claude Lassars or some of those other French fullbacks they've had. They can be brilliant one day, shocking the next.
I bet he's good on the dance floor, that boy.
I'll tell you what, he's going to have to wait a bit tonight, Murray, because the dinner for this game, the official dinner, starts at 1 o'clock. So he won't be on the dance floor until about 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's probably about right in France, actually. It's about where it works.
The painting is continuing, showing the French rising high, and they do just that.
Against the throat.
But it's been it was knocked back by France. Yeah. So the All Blacks get another chance, closer, by 5 or 6 metres. 3 minutes gone, second half.
So who's going to go to this time? Maxwell.
So'oialo was the target. Got it off to Maxwell. Now it's with Collins. Fires the pass to McCaw. Back to Collins. Collins for the line. And down. Yes. Gary Collins gets his first test try.
They are delighted. they also realise it's a big moment in this game. But I was just reading that stat before that Jerry Collins hadn't scored a try yet in all the tests he's played. But look at this. He was almost held, and then the wave of black arrived. Stop me now. He's just a little sidestep, help from behind. A little bit of help from Carl Heyman, and was it Oliver Maxwell, I think it was. Well, that's...
Conversion is made. That all-important try, first try in the second spell, that the All Black coach emphasised to the team. The All Blacks have got it.
And won't the All Black coach feel good now? Look at him sitting there. Steve Hansen, Wayne Smith. They'll all feel better than they've felt in most games they've sat there.
And they'll be happy to give the assist to the French fullback, I think.
Well, this is a great score at this stage of the game against France. Whether they can retain it, we don't know, but it's an emphatic performance, comprehensive advantage to New Zealand in this game now.
Much better kick by Carter. He struck that one well. Poitrenaud gets a cheer from the crowd. What can he come up with here? It's a kick and chase, which Muliaina wins easily. Poitrenaud times his connection with Muliaina well. Kelleher under a lot of pressure, and that's a very good kick. He's got better as the game has gone on, Byron Kelleher. He made a couple of early mistakes, but boy, did he come into it in the latter stages of the first half.
Actually, it was well played right through there. Muliaina jumping into the ball confidently and then laying it back beautifully. A couple of players over the top of him, then Kelleher had room to move and he could pick it up, see everything, but he ran long enough for the winger to charge up, which opened the hole behind.
French go to their captain, Palouse, but it's only ready to clear the ball, and it's Pierlon, not in the original selection.
Ali Williams going for a big warm-up run in the dead ball area. Just wondering whether Norm Maxwell might be nearing the end of his contribution, which has been pretty good.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, I'd be loath to change a team that's going as well as this team is.
Here come France. They never really dared and buried this outfit. Liebenberg running back into them. He hasn't got any real pace, Liebenberg, but he's solid enough. Palouse trying to rip the ball away. Now it's there for Michalak. Pierlon. Oh, that's good defence. Thumping tackle.
Kelleher.
Marsh held as well. No room at all for the French to run with the ball in midfield. Palouse hounded by Oliver. They're just tackling their hearts out here, the All Blacks.
Over here too. Oh, no.
Michalak. Liebenberg again. Well, he looks a little bit like a draft horse at the moment.
Turnover.
Ball turned over. And the ball was lost forward. Looked as though it came off the leg of a French player, but Alain Roland was playing an advantage. It was firstly knocked on by the French.
Yes, well, Richie McCaw was half through the hole trying to lean through and give that pass when he lost control of it. It's a risk to do that, but if it comes off, of course, that you set your player away into the open. Well, this crowd is stunned. Just look around you, Bisno. Unbelievable. Everyone is just sitting there. The normal expression that we see on French faces is modified.
They're going to lose another front row forward here.
Could be in a bit of trouble here.
De Villiers. Oh, looks like Bruno.
Yeah, they're bringing the reserve hooker back on, Sebastian Bruno. So that's interesting. What does this mean scrum time? They've taken off the tight head prop, Peter De Villiers.
We're going to have golden oldies here, are we? Surely not.
Gosh, the one time when the All Blacks are really putting the heat on the French scrum. Have to play granny scrums?
I have no choice. Hold it. They've replaced both props on either side, which is a requirement. They're telling me they don't have anybody else who's playing the front row. We have to go to contested scrums, all right? Listen to me. Listen to me. All I can do, they're telling me they've no prop. That is something that has to be dealt with afterwards. I've got no more props here, so we have to go to uncontested. That's what they're telling me. I'm sorry, okay?
I think the All Blacks can smell a rat here, and I think we can all smell a rat here.
I've no props. They're telling me they don't have somebody who can play in the front row, so we have to go to uncontested scrums.
Even so, it's a humbling experience for the French.
Look at the expression on Anton Oliver's face. Yeah, right.
Hold in.
Well, that's a victory. That's a victory in itself.
So here we go. Play resumes. So Oyalo, the All Blacks have to put that behind them. Kelleher away for Carter. Still the furious pace of this game will continue. Here's Byron Kelleher. Fires it back behind him now. It's Richie McCaw. Gets away from Aaron Dorky easily. Muliaina was up there. Now Kelleher. Carter. Now, how's the fullback, Poitrenaud, going to go? Oh, he did all right. Lays it back nicely. Betson, well, there's a name that's hardly been mentioned.
Oh, that's right. Everybody tells you what an enormous work rate Benson has, but we haven't seen him tonight.
Michalak. Kick made by a winger.
The reason we haven't been talking about many of the French players on this day is because, you know, the territory and possession have really favoured New Zealand this game.
I just hope Stephen Jones is watching this somewhere, watching an All Black pack reducing a French team to having to dud up their front row.
It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, some of the French people that I'll see tonight won't want to look at me in the face.
Chris Jack nicely to Maxwell. Here's Collins charging it up again in centre field. Kelleher brings it out. Umanga's next cab off the rank. Now it's with Byron Kelleher. Carter turns it back to Muliaina, playing up very flat in the line during this test match. The All Blacks have had so much possession, but he hasn't really needed to be back on defence much. Collins, oh, beautiful pass off to Umanga. Hasn't got any support. He'll have to do it alone. Now he gets it. Muliaina it is. Inside the 22.
Well, they just got it.
Now they come wide to Collins again. Richie McCaw up to Collins once more. Turns it back to Kelleher. Look for his support. Can't find it though. But the All Blacks retain possession. Carter gets it wide for Smith. On to Umanga. He gives the pass up again to Soialo.
Oh, tackle.
He gave it away to Smith, driving for the line, and down they go. Let's see what the call is. He's going to say scrum 5, not even going to go to the TMO. I think it's Conrad Smith under all that. They almost did it again. Boy, the acceleration here from Rodney Soialo.
He looked like Umanga running, actually, so similar. But he was well tackled, it was great defence. I'll tell you what, he's short of the goal line, but Conrad Smith had that ball well in control.
Substitutions being made for the All Blacks. Anton Oliver is off. Kevin Mialamu is on in 16, and coming on in 18 is Ali Williams for Norm Maxwell.
Well, that's a good response by Graham Henry, because there's no power scrummaging. He's gone with Kevin Mialamu, who gets round the park, doesn't he?
Well, you're dead right. It's good for mobility factor.
All Blacks have it with Roka Thoko. They're going to try and crunch their way over once more. Here's Tony Woodcock, who's had a very good game. Now Kevin Mialamu. All Blacks can't wait to get their hands on the ball. It's with Collins again. Quick hands, another try, and Dan Carter. Oh boy, one after another. Dan Carter gets number 3.
This is the team rated the best in the world this year, guys. They're getting cut to pieces.
Well, it's a wonderful feeling to watch an All Black team playing against a side as good as this, a quality side in their own home, with their country and their journalists, in fact the northern media, just rating how strong this French side is, a team that buried Australia 2 weeks ago. Comprehensively here in France also, and now New Zealand just almost going away with ease now. Who would have thought that Dan Carter could score a try on the outside without a hand being laid on him, and one man to spare further wide. Well, it is good signs for this team under the growing era of Henry, Smith and Hansen. So New Zealanders can sit home and smile quietly to themselves. Could be the start of another.
Oh, what a good kick again. 23 points tonight for Dan Carter.
Another of the French forwards has run up the white flag. Off comes Jerome Thion, and his replacement Pascal Park, the man from Borgwin, is on in 18.
Well, can New Zealand keep on the pressure?
Well, 12 minutes gone, second half. This is as comprehensive as it gets.
I can't remember calling the game, actually, in all the last 10 years where New Zealand have played a quality side of this and been so comprehensively on top.
This is the outfit that beat Australia, remember, 2 weeks ago. The same Australia that went to Twickenham today and had a win. And the referee has played advantage, penalty.
One of our French crew here has just suggested the guy to save France tonight could be Eric Cantona.
I think Napoleon might help.
There's Anton Oliver. Well, he's made a great contribution in the physical stakes of this game, right in that front row. See New Zealand start. The dominance, I think, came in the front row at scrum time. The French were under real pressure, and then they started going off injured.
Norm Maxwell takes his place. Another job well done.
The All Blacks are going to make another substitution too. Martin Nonu about to come on for Doug Howlett.
So here's Jerry Collins. His best test, I think, ever. Umanga looking to burst in midfield. Muliaina, or was it Muliaina? I don't think it was. It was Doug Howard. Here's Byron Kelleher. Kelleher gets there.
He had it too. I think he scored it.
I'm sure he has. The All Blacks know it. Rolander's going to go upstairs, but I don't know why. He's going to have a chat with the touch judge. But look at the New Zealand supporters. They're celebrating. Byron Kelleher and the French, well, they're dead and buried.
Well, he's waited a long time, Byron Kelleher. It's a great start, isn't it? It's so much easier when New Zealand forwards are running onto the ball. Oh, it was a great effort, Byron Kelleher, from that top angle. Well, he's so good at this gap. We've seen it before. See him move the hand away from the ball, away from the point of contact. He used the fend, and then he was determined. Let the body do the work and planted the ball. Faultless.
5th test try for Byron Kelleher, his 31st test, but of course he's had to play second fiddle for years. It's in fact is only his 14th start. 38 points to 6. Well, this whole series started back, as we've been hearing, back in 1906 when the All Blacks came to Paris under Dave Gallagher, won by 38-8. That was their best ever performance in Paris. There's a big chance here 98 years later they could improve it, as Carter's kick is off the posts.
Well, we saw a little bit of a smile. Did we see a little bit of emotion out of Dan Carter then? I think we might have.
Graham Henry continues to look fairly stoic about the whole thing.
How important is it that the All Blacks finish this year with a good win in their last test?
They'll have to close down the talkback stations, Tony. Nobody wants to know when they win.
Jeez, look at this stride. I think the French are in a state of cacophobia.
Kelleher away for Carter. A little change of tactics. Here they come. They had to wait for Amons to hit the deck, and they did that. Now Michalak away for Pierlon. Hit by Amons again. Everybody stands back. Crowd hooting, but nothing really to hoot about. Down it goes to Poitrenaud. Mania. He puts his boot to it. Kick and chase. Not a bad weighted kick either. Very good kick. Look, he thought he kicked it a bit too far for a moment.
Well, the crowd haven't really had much to hoot about, actually, as though, but they lift their volume a little bit now. French on attack for the first time in the second half. New Zealand throw, though. Two-man line out.
Kevin Nialamu goes deep. Richie McCaw bounces out of a tackle. Gave it off to Collins. Kelleher organising Carter, but instead kicks himself down to Rougerie. Chance here for the French to counter-attack. Rougerie chased by Umang, who misses. And in the end, it's So'oialo who has to make the tackle. Here's a good charge by Tony Marsh. Maybe the Kiwi can get them started. Now the French having a go. This is a rare sight in this game, but the All Blacks have turned the ball over and booted it off downfield again. Marsh waiting for it. Lobs it out into centre field for Poitrenaud. Now Amons. Back on the inside to Aaron Ordeke.
Copybook tackle by Carter.
Marsh. Amont, no, Rougerie it is. He gives the pass off to replacement player Pup. Good charge by Servat.
Overlap.
Poitrenaud. Back on the inside. Mania stabs the kick for Betson. Well, the French have woken up. 17 minutes into the second half. And the comeback is about to be launched, maybe.
Yes, and there were plenty of numbers. They moved it well. The defence, New Zealand defence, has been very strong. But they were left short there. Kick just a little bit heavy. So that's Nonu on the field, I see.
Carter's kick down as far as Clement Poitrenaud. Now it's Amons. A run by Pierlon. Looks like a jersey missing here. Ball turned over, but penalty. One of the French players has had his jersey ripped clean off his back. Thion said, what's the replacement player? Oh.
Well, captured by the camera.
So the All Blacks have been penalised here. New jersey required.
Well, he's had a physical game, Byron Kelleher, as well. He has his ability to run and break the line. He's done a bit of everything, really, hasn't he? He's kicked over the top. He's made good breaks. He's in a physical game and he's cleared the ball so many times, so well. So New Zealand would be happy to see another quality halfback up here. Marshall and Kelleher now. Of course, they'll probably mark each other next week, I'd say.
All Blacks about to make a change in the front row. Greg Somerville ready to come on.
Now France, bad pass. Sits up nicely for Liebenberg. He gets nailed by McCaw, who drives him back towards the All Black forward pack. But it's going to be there for the French. Pup. So that the hooker. Ball pops back in nicely for Mania. Big defence. Who was that? Ali Williams, was it? Thumping tackle.
On Betson, who's had one of the quietest games that we've ever seen from him.
Oh, what a beaut tackle.
It was a great tackle, wasn't it?
But that's what we saw from Ali Williams last year, the Bledisloe Cup game at Eden Park when they beat the Australians in the rain. His defence was outstanding.
Is Ali back, is he?
Well, he's had a disappointing year. You know, we know how talented he is. He hasn't had a great year, but he's making his presence felt out there as the changes made in the front row. Tony Woodcock, another who's had a strong game, replaced by Greg Somerville at loose ends.
Yes, he's had a beauty, Tony Woodcock. Been a bit unfortunate that the scrumming has, in the second half of most of it anyway, has been what we refer to as golden old. He's leaning against each other.
Yeah, but the point had been made, hadn't it?
Oh, well and truly. Carter off his right boot. Good kick.
But the other thing they've done well, though, New Zealand, it's good to see this. It's clever, in fact, tactically clever. They've got Soialo detaching from almost every scrum New Zealand put the ball in. It's golden oldies for sure. But what they're trying to say is, okay, let's make a good thing out of a bad situation here. Let's throw Rodney Soialo at them and try and take out a man and create an extra bit of space on the outside. That's what he's doing. In fact, he's taking out two men off him the way he runs.
Savat to throw. Early jump by Aeronautica, and it's a real shambles. The All Blacks have it. Soialo tried to give it off to McCaw.
Oh, McCaw beautifully placed.
Now Kelleher for Carter. Carter back to Kelleher. Off it goes to Soialo. Nonu. All Blacks playing basketball with it at the moment. Now Umaga sends it up to McCaw. Half gap to Virtue McCaw. Now Kelleher. Chase coming up, but Amons has got a fair bit of it. And he easily beats Chris Jack and Rodney Soialo.
One of the things that I think that New Zealand has done so well today also has been offloading in the tackle. Just about every player to a man. I'm sure they've been training to do this, but they're all looking to offload as they make the contact and they look to offload. And they're getting away with it. It means there's got to be a guy on support.
18 minutes remaining as Kelleher gives it to Nonu. Gets through the first one easily enough. Lays it back. Kelleher goes short to Carl Heyman. Tidied up nicely for Mia Lamu. Nice step. Then he couldn't get away. It was knocked on by Liebenberg.
Just about intercepted, I thought.
He's the Gordon Tallis lookalike.
Liebenberg. Sounds like a...
Well, he's a South African, Murray.
Oh, I was going to say.
One of two of them that they've had in the side here today. Peter de Villiers the other.
The prop.
Crouch and hold. Engage.
Soialo for Kelleher. Nice defence this time by the French. Good work by, in fact, it was Liebenberg. Rocker Thoko for Collins. Heaves it off to Mia Lamu.
There's been a lot of 50-50 passes, but most of them have stuck.
Somerville to Jack. Now it's with at least Mills Moliaina. Carl Heyman turns it out to Dan Carter. Carter looking on the inside. Just couldn't quite get to Greg Somerville. Now it's with Conrad Smith, who does a pirouette.
Yes, absolutely.
Heyman, just a little bit in front of McCaw. Well, couldn't quite handle it.
He's a bit of a magician, this guy, but he couldn't get out of that one.
More changes being made. Aaron Major about to enter the fray for the All Blacks, and they've cleared the bench in the forwards. The French about to come on in number 19, Julien Bonaire, the man from Bourgoin. Rodney Soialo is, I think he might, in fact, do beg your pardon, the number 8's come up, but I think it's for Arinodiki, the French number 8. It is indeed. Conrad Smith off, Aaron Major on, and 21 for New Zealand. Arinodiki off, and it is Bonaire on for France.
Well, Conrad Smith, he's been consistently there on the shoulder, running off like he did all NPC. He's a very constructive player, so he's had a big day today too. In fact, they all have, every New Zealand player.
France trying to pop the ball into that gap, but McCaw's got back beautifully for Rocker Thoko. Well, it's not just going forward, Richie McCaw. His ability to get back to, tidy up. Here's the All Blacks in centre field with Chris Jack trying to burst his way through. Kelleher feeds it off to Major, looks on the inside for his Canterbury teammate Greg Somerville. Kelleher heaves it wide again for Soialo. Collins tried desperately to get it to away to Rokafoko, and French have kicked it dead. Not sure why the crowd is whistling.
Well, I think they felt that the French winger Rougerie had been taken out.
He certainly screamed for it, didn't he? We'll see it again. Right out.
Game just losing a bit of its shape. Damage has been well and truly done. You can see the Eden Park sign in the background there. Of course, Franck Manel, the former French international, runs that brand.
Yes, and he'll be here tonight. I haven't seen him actually today. Normally floating around somewhere, a bit like Jean-Pierre Reed.
So 15 minutes to go. You'd still like to think that the All Blacks could get some more points on the board and, you know, not completely break up the pattern that they've been showing in this game. Just a little bit harum scarum at the moment, isn't it?
Yep, has, as I said, lost its shape a wee bit. Carter, nice kick. Spiraled it away downfield, lovely kick.
It has lost a bit of shape. I'm sure part of that is because of the scrum, but they're still controlling the ball well, I think, New Zealand. I mean, how many times do we see a player taking it in and just offloading and taking it in again? It's been a pretty clinical display in some respects.
Rougerie leaving the field, and on the right wing, a man who's been around for a long time, one of the stars of that crushing French win in the 99 World Cup, Christophe Dominici.
Well, that's 5 replacements. Not too many left in the French side as Palouse wins the line-out. Pilon for Liebenberg, looking to spin it wide for Mania. Marsh is well taken. Then the tackle of Aaron Major. Good scrap for the loose ball here. Still in French territory by 10 metres. 38 points to 6. 13 minutes left in the game. Michalak, bad pass. Gets it out to Bonaire. Good tackle by Joe Rokafoko, and he gets back to recover. Fires it away to Mills Muliaina. All Blacks with a bit of space to operate. Nonu. He gave it to Soialo. Back to Muliaina. Well contained. Heyman.
And they've got it again.
Carter.
Well,
has he overdone it? Oh, just
on the line.
Just. Well, he's grown into that number 10 jersey very, very quickly, Dan Carter.
Well, I think even that move there has shown that, you know, because I think it was time to place the ball just behind them and force the line out inside the 22.
This might be the last change for the French. Change at halfback with Mathieu Barraud is on.
Well, I've still got 12 minutes to go. Tony, what's going to happen if someone gets injured?
Michalak hasn't been a great success at halfback, really, has he? They've missed Elissard tonight, for sure.
I think it's unfair on him, really, because he hasn't had much of a chance, has he?
Barraud gets it off to Pilon. Here they come again through the backs. Dominici. Unsure as what to do. Hesitation. McCaw's in there as always. Can't turn it over on this occasion. Now Pilon for Poitrenaud. Palouse takes it to contact. Fires it back. Bad pass.
He's missed another knock on. It was knocked on by Perronneau.
They don't quite know what to do here, the French.
No, I'll tell you what.
Saw the halfback go blindside, then he realised there was nobody to give it to. Liebenberg. The All Blacks have played them out of this game tonight. Here's Palouse trying to hand off Carter, but look at the black jersey swarming all over the French captain. Drops it behind him. Now Rougerie, that's forward.
Yes, they definitely like bees around the honeypot, aren't they? The moment there's a little hesitation or a little gap or half a tackle, boom, and come the next 2 or 3 players.
Just listen to this, guys. That's the French team getting a roasting from their own crowd. And Betson's down.
Well, he's really been a non-entity in this game. Chris Jack was being attended to.
It's been the quietest crowd I think I've ever experienced. Certainly in a capacity stadium of this magnitude in France.
10:30 at night in Paris. Still just over 10 minutes remaining in the game.
Yes, it will certainly dampen the evening, the remainder of the evening for the locals.
Rolled in by, sorry, Tony. Here goes Nonu having a crack on the outside. Gave it up to Soialo, and he lost it forward. Still playing with plenty of vigour, the All Blacks. But really, since that last try that Byron Kelleher scored, it seems an awful long time ago, the game has lost a bit of its shape. keep saying that, but I think it's true.
Well, yes, it is. But I don't think that's any challenge to New Zealand's game plan or the style of game they're playing, really.
I noticed the band's still playing, Tony, but like the old Titanic.
Yeah, they've been belting him out all night.
I think Jerry Collins and Roddy Sualo had a great game together, the two boys from Puira.
Here is Collins. Certainly had to adjust his style somewhat since the start of this international season. You notice that Jerry Collins passes the ball a lot more.
Yes, he does.
Here's a kick by Aaron Major. Poitrino dawdling back here. He gets the call from Amons, who the best they can do is kick it out. The French, they know this game is well and truly gone. 38 points to 6. Sorry, Murray.
I'll just to say the loose forwards tonight have been absolutely mighty, the New Zealand loose forward trio. They've had a bit of everything. So often loose forward trios have to sacrifice something, and I guess the only criticism you could ever have here is there's no real line-out forward there to compete against the opposition in that third jumping role. But apart from that, everything has worked well. The support of the ball carrier, Richie McCaw's scrounging for possession everywhere, the breakdown.
There's one against the throw, as Kevin Mialamu's throw just a little bit short.
Even that's it wasn't a turnover, but it was close. So they're contesting everything.
Liebenberg not brave enough to have a go from inside his 22, instead kicks it away downfield. It's a good kick, but in the context of the game, doesn't mean a lot. 8 minutes left.
And just to finish off on those loose forwards, the abrasive nature of this trio is hurting the opposition, being the French on this occasion. But it's a good sign for the future if they're kept together.
Well, I wonder what Sir Clive Woodward has learned this week. He's been following the All Blacks around.
Yes, he's helped prepare 3 teams to face the All Blacks. None out of 3 so far.
Chris Jack rising high. Williams gets his pass off to Major. McCaw in midfield. Bounces out of 1. Can't deliver the pass. Kelleher calling Carter back inside the 22. And the All Blacks happy to do their bit too. The forwards have done...
Hello, Daniel Carter's stretching his hamstring.
He's all right, I think.
Because the All Blacks do have one more match to play this year against the Barbarians next week. It's not a test match, though. This is the last test match of the year. But you think if they'd lost this test match tonight, there would have been debate all over the summer about, who should be playing in what position and whether they got their tactics right. Just so important to finish the test year on a positive note.
Isn't it just that the beach will be nice?
Well, this is a triumph, really. The victory here is not easily achieved. Now, here's an opportunity for Amons. Tries to stand up Muliaina. Manya's pass is, well, to no one at all. And the All Blacks have a chance for regrouping. France have had the odd sortie, as they say in France, in the second half, but it's been very odd. Sortie's an exit, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, sortie's an exit. The odd out. The odd out.
I'm seeing it at the railway station.
Yeah. It was the right word in English, actually, Nisbo. Here's Mania. He's been the scourge of New Zealand so many times, hasn't he? He's slowly back to his feet. He's been outplayed by Richie McCaw tonight.
A bit over 5 minutes left here. 38 points to 6. The All Blacks have scored 19 unanswered points in the second half. They didn't look a happy lot there.
No, they did they? I just saw the expression.
Is that the local committee?
Yes, well, every New Zealander. There's a lot of New Zealanders here tonight too.
Boy, other what?
Just coming to the ground, just seeing so many of them obviously doing their OE, but all wearing black and silver fern flag wrapped around their heads. They'll all be walking pretty proud tonight, staying humble, I hope. Ali, you don't step forward here unless you can finish it there.
A bit late for a fight, really.
Reminds me of that thing I read in the newspaper about that busload in Bolivia where a guy took out his gun and held up the bus driver, and 16 out of the 19 passengers took out their gun and shot him dead. Ali stepped up and got whacked out on that fight.
And listen, we have 5 minutes to go. I'd like to keep everybody on the field, okay?
So it's a penalty to France. And they'll launch from about 5 metres. And a line out. Well, the crowd would like nothing more than a French try as Fabien Pelouse takes it in.
Oh, big drive going on.
All Blacks just hold them up. And it's gone to ground.
Oh, it might be a turnover yet. No.
Barrow.
I get the feeling that New Zealand don't want to concede a try here.
Driven away from it.
Oh, no, says the referee.
Oh, that's poor. All Blacks drove over the top, so he blew the whistle.
Well, they can't go for a pushover scrum. It's their fault.
We'll be able to see a replay with a bit of luck. Ball's loose there, and then look at that. Oh, cut off. Well, it does give the New Zealand selectors a chance to play a lot of the other guys that they brought on this trip to develop, I think was the term I heard, in the game against the Barbars next week. None of the first line England players are available. There's a few New Zealanders and Australians playing.
Piri Wepu coming to the sideline. Byron Kelleher, I think, will want to see this game out. He's been such a big part of it. So France running out of chances to score a try in the game. Back for Tony Marsh as they set it again. Ball trickles back, but Barraud is not there. Knocked on. Not clearly knocked on by the French. The referee's missed it. Now Barraud has a go. No way through. A drive at the defence. Now it's with Servat, the hooker. He's a couple of metres short. Barraud for Betson. Straight into Umaga, who was waiting for him.
Stopped dead in his tracks.
A crack at the line by Bruno. It's up off the ground too. See how the referee rules this. Yep, fair call. All Black ball.
Byron Kelleher was just screaming for that. He was screaming, use it or lose it, ref.
Well, the 38 looks good, but the 6 looks very good as well. 2 penalties to France. If they can stop them scoring a try in this game, they'll also consider that a great triumph.
And beat the previous record. You'll like that, Tony.
38-8. Mind you, that day, Tony, they scored 10 tries. They weren't worth quite as much in those days.
Just a 3, yep. Hoping to have a big game next year to celebrate the 100th anniversary of that game.
Just going back to that game, Billy Wallace scored a hat-trick on that occasion.
Oh, not out.
So Poitrenaud from the back. Couple of minutes remaining. Untidy ball again for Barraud. Throws a wild pass to Greg Somerville, who shows good speed. Oh, go. Now it's with Kelleher. He's got some support. Couldn't find him, though, but he's up and going again, the little bloke. Soialo heaves out a pass. Major kicks across field. They're lining up here. Muliaina back to Nonu. Nonu.
Well, you can see black now around the stadium. So there's certainly one sector of the crowd absolutely delighted. And so they should be. Well, it was an interesting try. We saw a prop pull off an intercept and run about 35, trying to hand off people. We saw Aaron Major chip kick to the outsides. We saw a little bit of a squabble on who was going to score. And we saw the strength of Nonu.
The French have gone behind the goalposts and they are absolutely getting a roasting. Whistles and jeers from their crowd. And I tell you, there's some very proud New Zealanders in the stadium here tonight, and they're making most of the rest of the noise.
The French will be hoping that this is it. It's not quite it on the ground clock, but I wonder whether Alain Roland might put them out of their misery here. As Daniel Carter lines up another one. 23 points so far from him tonight. Dave Gallagher trophy will stay with the All Blacks as Carter kicks the goal. And that is the end of a comprehensive victory by the All Blacks. It doesn't get any better than this. Smiles all round. Graham Henry puts his hands together. He should probably do more than that. And listen to the French crowd. Boy, are they giving it to Le Bleu.
An absolutely clinical performance by this New Zealand team where they dominated France in every area, including the scoreboard. And it really has brought the team together. They look like a very happy group, totally united in their quest. The disappointed French crowd for sure and French team, but they were just simply outplayed by a side that did, well, they did pretty much everything very, very well.
Yes, I'd like the jersey. I'm sure Brian Liebenberg would love the jersey. But what a triumph for Graham Henry for Steve Hansen and Wayne Smith and this All Black team. This was the big test of the tour, no doubt about that. And they've come through it with flying colours. They've beaten the best team, the team that was named the best team in the world, can you believe it, by 45 points to 6. Yes, 45 points to 6. And we're hoping to go down to the sideline very quickly.
Well, 45 points to 6, Nisbo, but at home too, in Paris.
A conversation in English between Tony Marsh and Norm Maxwell, and Tana Umaga is going to receive the Dave Gallagher Trophy. It's a record score for the All Blacks in Paris. It's a record score in France. And they are absolutely thrilled, and why not? Five tries they scored, the All Blacks. 1 in the first half, but 4 in the second. They led 19-6 at half-time. They have the victory, 45 points to 6. The French crowd now showing their appreciation of the All Blacks, having given the French team the word.
Nisbo, we've got Rodney Soriano here. Rodney, what a fantastic performance by the All Blacks tonight.
Oh, it's great, you know. We had a point to prove when we came out here today. Especially with the guys that died in the war over here, we wanted to do it for them and your family back at home and the fans.
So that was very much the theme of the week. I mean, you wore the poppy on the sleeve.
Yep, that's right. It's always a hard game coming over here, and we really needed to pick it up. Especially after last week, it was a bit of a close game, so we really needed a big game this week. Also got the feeling that you were out to prove a point tonight by really taking the game at a physical level to the French, trying to dominate them at scrum time and also hit them so hard in the tackles. Yeah, I mean, they do it all the time, so we really needed to take their game away from them, and and that definitely started off with the physical side of thing. We wanted to start off, dominating the fullback and obviously giving our backs, good ball. Really important try before half-time too. You needed it really just to show for your efforts. Yeah, definitely. It's always good to get a try, before the half-time finishes. So, it just happened that I got one. So, really happy for that. Well, congratulations. I'll let you go because a lot of very proud New Zealanders here want to congratulate you on your win. So go and enjoy it. Well played. TJ, have a good day.
What a scene it is too, as the All Blacks now go around and acknowledge the support, which really is huge. Great support from New Zealanders who have made the trip all the way from New Zealand, of course, and those that have come across from the UK. Now let's go and hear from the captain, Tana Umaga. Well, Tana, that must be one of the most satisfying wins of your All Black career.
It is. We really wanted this one, and I think it showed right from the start. I think the passion we showed at our haka, and from the first minute until the last. We really did want this one, and we got it. How was that for you, leading the All Black haka as well as leading the team? Yeah, it was very exciting actually. Leading up to it, I was a little bit nervous, but the guys had faith in me to do it, so they wanted me to do it, and it was a great honour. And hopefully, I didn't let anyone down. Well, the points 4 looked pretty good, but also towards the end, some really great defence as the French tried to get the ball over the line. That must be pretty satisfying as well. Yeah, exactly, and I think that bodes well for our future. As it is these days, defence wins games, and I think we showed both sides of the coin today. We had some good attack, and we missed a couple of opportunities, but our defence was sound. What do you make of the French with the front row? They seem to run out of props, and you had to play the old granny scrums. Yeah, it was unusual for us. It took we felt that we were getting on top of them in that facet of play, but that's just the rules. I'm sure they'll have a look at it after this game and see what else they can do. But hey, we dealt with it. We moved on, and we still came away with a good win. Well, of course, there's still the Barbarians game to come next week, but this was the last Test match of the year. It's a year that started off on a great note, maybe a bit of a stagger towards the end of Tri Nations. How important for you and this team that you've been able to finish the Test program on such an emphatic and positive note? Yeah, it was very important for us. That was our major goal, to come over here and beat France in front, and hopefully we've silenced a few people back home who said this was a development side. We're the All Blacks, and that's it. No development side name next to us. Yeah. We're the All Blacks, and we're very proud. Might have silenced a few people here too. Yeah, I'm glad that happened. Okay, mate. Well, congratulations. Great effort, and all the best for the next game against the Barbarians. But a great win tonight. Yeah, thank you very much, and just to say hi to my family back home, and I'll be home soon. Good on you, mate. Cheers. Yes, he's a proud